Good morning, good night. Today, we're going to be installing this Eonon head unit into this Mazdaspeed 3. It's a 2013. And it's not a... Oh my Jesus, don't do that. It's not a... Oh my Jesus, don't do that. Yeah, don't drop it on the ground. Hopefully this is packaged well. Not a sponsored video. Bought this with my own money. Let's see how it goes. And by the way, sorry, yeah, we're not working on the Lotus today. But I was inspired. I had just done a head unit install in my Lotus. And because I put a new head unit in the Lotus, I've got Android Auto, I've got my backup camera, I realized the good old Speed 3 still doesn't have that. So we're putting this in. I want Android Auto and I want a backup camera. So we're doing a couple of things. Let's get started with the head unit. By the way, since I just dropped that on the ground, would you do me a favor? Even if this thing doesn't work, please like and subscribe. And this is what we're after today. We're gonna see if this thing is A, easy to install, B, they claim it to be fully plug and play, and I always doubt that. Anytime somebody tells me something is plug and play, I still assume there's something that needs to be cut and snipped and wired and everything else, so we'll see about that. And finally, we'll take a look to see how it works and the functionality and see if it actually sounds good, because after all, that's the point. Okay, let me take you over my shoulder here as we unbox this. Yeah, I know, this is it's an expensive table here, the Evora. But anyway, all right. So lots of foam, that's good because I just dropped this, and some instructions, which I'm told are worthless. This is what they call the Android 12 unit, and it is a custom fit for the 2013 Evora. Well, custom fit for the Mazdaspeed model. So it's custom either for the first gen or the second gen Mazdaspeed 3. And okay, one thing, let's just talk about how, I'm going to be very careful with this. Let's talk about how slim this is. It's really impressive. I mean, there's a whole lot of screen here on the front and very little depth. So I hope, certainly that's going to be good from a weight standpoint and going to be good from an ease of install standpoint. I certainly hope that it's not like implicative of a cheap audio amplifier. We'll see. And then also we got a big old bundle of wires. Let's go rip apart the existing one. Got this thing tinted and I pretty much like the look. She's a pretty girl. That's the Velocity Red mica. And it's pretty nice, especially in the sun, because you can see when the light really catches it, it goes to this really nice orange fleck that's in there. So it's sort of a red car, but in certain lights, it just absolutely shines. And of course, ignore all the dirt everywhere because I was gonna wash it, but hey, let's do this video instead. I'm gonna take this out. This is what I was previously using my phone to get my Android Auto, as you can imagine. Or it doesn't really matter, Android Auto, your iPhone, it all just snaps right there. This is a decent thing. However, it's kind of a pain because, you know, it falls out sometimes if you hit a big bump or whatever. It just goes into the CD disc. You can, for the record, have that in there and still have a disc in there. And there it is. There you go. Hopes Fall, Magnetic North. Came with the car, actually. We want to gain access to this here. And it's a nice little system. But what we have to do is kind of just go in here, and I'm just going to go here right underneath there and just kind of pop it straight up and go across, and you can kind of peel it from the bottom. Very little in the way of tools. That pops up and it gets out of the way. There is a speaker up there, by the way. There are 2 Phillips screws that need to come out, so let's work on those. You can tell it's a heavy unit. Okay, it's coming. You just got to use a little bit of the old muscle. There we go. And the suggestion would be to just pull it straight forward, well, towards you, which means towards the rear of the car. So that comes out. And look at the size difference. This thing is just so big in comparison to what we're going to be putting in there. And it never hurts to get a little bit more light on the subject. That's why I like this little Rambo things here. So yeah, so we got a few things we got to unplug. They likely all have clips that you have to feel to unhook. Now what I've done here is just flipped it up this way, and I found that gives me visual access to what I'm doing, and that makes life much easier. Oh my God. And this one goes like that. Okay, just do that. It's way easier. Anyway, this is the M3 Blah 12S user manual. So that's the model I have. And just flipping over to this page, the reason I got this one, besides the fact that it's custom fitted for the Mazda 3 or 6 console, is this right here, number 26, which is the CAN bus decoder. So this is supposed to be able to get the information right from the steering wheel, right from the car, and like any steering wheel button should continue to work. Now, so just on the back side, even though the unit is very small, there's a lot of wires that we're going to attach to the back. I'm probably not going to use all of them. Oh boy, some of these are, as you might expect, small, little wires. Look at the rear. Wow, lots and lots of little inputs on the back here. It's very interesting. So they have them all running through there. Also spots for GPS, 4G, and 4G plus. So there's a lot of inputs, and then whatever this is, which is probably just a traditional FM antenna, and your power, and then even any HDMI inputs. Let's start plugging in what we really know. So this is power. This is going to go right here. So plug this in. There it goes. Make sure that clicks all the way in. Then what we're going to do, these are all your inputs, right? So what we're going to then do is take, like, I don't know why this couldn't have been assembled by them, but that's fine. So everything is beautifully labeled. Give them credit for that, right? So these are marked front left, rear left, so on and so forth. These are not. So we'll just switch it around. We'll mess around with the balance and fade. We'll figure it out. Okay, so let's start hooking up some of these connections. There's only 3 of them, so we can't be mess this up too bad. The things we're going to make sure, by the way, I missed to do this earlier. This clearly goes in here for the radio. Make sure it goes all the way in. It's another one where half is easy and then hard to go the full way. And I'm going to try and make sure these wires kind of fit in here nicely. It is a little bit of a rat's nest. All right, unless I'm having a blonde moment here, this is what I've done. We're going to have to test it and see if it works. Something is a little bit funky here. So these are all labeled. These are all the outputs coming from the head unit. Head unit is where it's going to be producing the sound, sending it out. Now, they connected to the red and white ones here, but the issue is these all say input, and then they have the connector, but that connector definitely fits with this one. We've got this extra long one, so this is going to go right here. And that is a unique connector that can only fit on that one. That's why I'm pretty sure that's what it is. This is the backup camera. I'm going to use that later, but we're just going to test the unit first to make sure I got it working. One problem at a time. Then obviously this Giganto connector is for this one. It's very unique to the Mazda. Oh, satisfying click. Oh, I love that. And then hidden here, don't forget about this little gray one, which is for the antenna. And it's here, and that is the shortest one, so I will have to more or less put it into position to access it. And let's see how it sounds. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's nice. Wow, look at that fitment. That is perfect along here and here. Tiniest bit of gapping, but I can barely see it. That looks pretty, especially once we got the things in. But before we do any of that, let's turn it on, see if it works. Okay, we got power. That's a good start. That's good. So not good. Let's see if we can. Hey! That's great. We can actually tune something. Let's go ahead and see if we can. But let's figure out. Here we go. Okay. Well, that's correct so far. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say we got it right. Z-Link, please connect your phone to the device with USB or Bluetooth. I think we've done that. It's acting like it's working. Continue. Yeah. A lot of this first time stuff. Hey, that's great. Even got my Blink 182 right there, but I can't hear it. There we go. Let's do it. Okay, cool. There's my audio. There's the maps. Not bad. In there. And use those screws again. There we go. All right, let's do this. Kind of comes in over the top. So again, everything sort of slides forward for this. This kind of helps lock everything in. Boom. Lovely. Oh, I love the way things snap together in this car. Cool. I think that looks gorgeous. Let's get some of this other nonsense figured out. I hate that this is the wrong date. I need Android Auto as a quick button. You know, I also need Apple CarPlay here because my wife will drive this occasionally. Yeah, we're working on it. We're getting there. Getting there. All right, so I've driven around with this a little bit. It's definitely working. It has a couple of little quirks and features, some bugs, if you will. And I found out that actually this is not the most updated system. So as you can see, it's starting to download. It's about 20% done. Just have my phone tethered to it right now and just, you know, syncing the Wi-Fi through my phone. But it could also, you know, if you can park close enough to the Wi-Fi router in your home or in your garage or whatever, you could connect to that and download it that way. So I think that'll help a little bit. It is pretty cool. If you go over settings and then you go over to car, you can go to your LED settings and look. You'll play with this once, but it is fun that you can get sort of multiple colors here. You want red, you want orange, you want green, you want blue, and then this one is kind of crazy. I mean, I would certainly not have this in my car, but the fact that you could have it cycle through is, I mean, if you were trying to do, you know, show off, that would be kind of fun. So we'll leave it red because I have a red car, and that makes the most sense to me. White's not bad either. White's pretty solid. A little bright, a little bright. I like red. Red, easier on the eyes. Fits with the rest of the dash anyway. I want to put it in reverse. There we go. Put it in reverse. Gives me this. All right, here we are again. We're back in here and we're doing what I like to call a sanity check. I have a camera that I bought. This is a backup camera. It's obviously wired because I don't want to mess with wireless stuff. That's no good for this type of thing. But there's a lot of cables. We got to get it all wired up. I'm going to just do a sanity check to make sure it works. And I did find out already that I missed something here. So the backup camera loop is here. And it has to be then wired in. So I'm going to pull it around into the back of the radio, which I didn't do. So that goes here. So what I've done is I've taken out the big foam divider and the top cover for the rear. And I'm just in here trying to route my wires to think about how it's going to go. And obviously get some nasty junk out of here. This is a daily driver, so you're going to have to bear with me. Okay, what I've done is I've just taken the camera, wired it here. I've just got it in temporarily. The wires go behind the bumper cover, underneath the car, and then over to here. And you can see them sticking out with the little red thing. Now that hole was there with this plastic cover. Drilled a hole through that, and the intent is to push the wires through this just so that they don't rub on any metal. So let's see if that works. Yeah, I feel like I'm batting 1,000. So there it is, through the hole, just a little bit of light. And then we'll use this as our plug. I'll actually run it underneath here, and then that's a straight shot up to the front of the car. But for now, I still want to actually see if this thing works, because we're going to have to tap in to the reverse lights wherever they are. Where are the reverse lights? Aha. All right, so we figured out that this right here, this is the reverse wire coming off of the rear hatch, and that is the reverse light there. So the power for that is this red and white wire, and if you trace it all the way around, comes up here through here, and I found underneath here there is a connector that gives you access to said red and white wire. And I know I'm covering up a lot of it, but that is it right there. So we've tapped into that with this red power wire. We're going to just shove this up here and run it along the weather stripping, and then down here we're going to go ahead and put the ground to just about any good ground spot that we can put it.
Lights on.
They're not on right now. The red ones are on. What about the white ones? Are the white ones on or off? Okay, we're doing another sanity check. I just have this mocked up. I've I've got the wire running through the top, but I just want to make sure this all... White is off. Okay, how about now? Go look now. Look if there's 2 of them on. There we go. I think we got them both.
Yes!
All right. It works. Great job.
Can turn the car off if do that for my ear.
Go look one more time. Go see if the 2 white lights are on.
On!
All right. Good job. Thank you, darling. Okay, I'm gonna give you a hug. All right, guys, it's done. Check it out. Drop it in reverse. Boom. There we go. It's not like a moving line or anything like that, but it's still very cool. Comes up in about a second and a half. Not too bad. Android Auto. I love the amplifier. You can really tune in some good stuff here. Obviously the radio is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's good. Apple CarPlay for the wife when she jumps in here. It's got a bunch of other nonsense that I don't really care about, but you know, we'll turn that off at some point. So here's the little bad boy right down here. As you can see, just hides right above the license plate. So that's the license plate down there. That's the camera. So yeah, this is the install for the Speed 3. And thanks everybody for checking it out. It's a clean looking install. Very factory looking. I dig it. All right, so all that said, what do I think of this Eonon Android 12 wireless Android Auto wireless Apple CarPlay unit? I like it. Let's answer some of the questions. Is it truly plug and play? Well, yeah, it actually is. In this Mazdaspeed 3 application, it truly drops in. You unplug the old stuff, you plug in the new stuff. Some of it's labeled unclearly, some of it's labeled wrong, but you'll figure it out. It's not that hard, but it does plug in directly. And ignoring the backup camera, because that was its own whole thing. But if you're just swapping over the head unit, it goes in, plug and play. That's pretty cool. It retains the steering wheel buttons that we have here. So volume up and down, most of them work. And then the beautiful thing is I haven't lost my up here. So the audio screen now doesn't work, but that's fine. I just won't show it. But everything else, like my fuel economy, my average speed, my current fuel economy, that all works. And then this screen up here also works. So both of these screens stay active. I'll just leave it on my normal thing, which is the fuel economy. A very clean install. And then on top of that, what we did was we went and put in the backup camera. So we put in the backup camera. That was a whole thing. It was a little bit more work. That was not necessarily plug and play. There's a lot of wiring, but honestly wasn't that bad. It took me a few hours to do it. At one point I had locked myself out of the back. But yeah, I tapped into the reverse lights from a cable back there, ran the video signal down the side of the car under the weather stripping, plugged it into the back of this, and it works perfectly.